So welcome to Online Yoga Studio. I'm Cantor Lizzie Shammash. And today our props are going to be a blanket, a strap that has a belt on it, two blocks or a chair, and a little piece of wall for your heel. As you are grabbing those things, I just have one announcement from the Institute, and then we will get started. Welcome to Harriet, here for your first time. That's great. So glad you're joining us. And thanks everybody who said hi. One announcement from the Institute. It's a beautiful workshop for parents beginning July 23rd at 8 p.m. or on July 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern. Soulful and practical workshop designed for parents who want to bring more spirituality into family life, grounded in the ancient Jewish tradition of Rosh Chodesh, of the new moon. This session will guide you to create simple, beautiful rituals that help your children and you feel more rooted, calm, and connected to something greater. Who doesn't need that? So if that sounds good and appropriate for your stage, please check it out and also share it with others for whom it would be valuable and appropriate. Okay, friends, we will begin. We're going to start on the floor. Happy birthday to Sarah, and somebody's here for the first time also. Meryl, great to have you. Okay, we're going to turn off the chat for now so we can practice and really focus our attention. I also forgot to mention, if you have a phone or other noises, alerts going on in your room or from your computer, please give yourself the gift, if you're able to do so, of taking a moment to silence any alerts so that you can really focus in. Okay, friends, we're going to start with a little bit of practice. I'm going to then share some teaching, and then we'll continue to quarter of the hour. And then we'll have some time for Q&A and reflections. The first thing we're going to do is make a blanket jelly roll. You'll take the blanket in its folded position and roll it up nice and tight into a jelly roll. If you're feeling tight in your upper back, thoracic spine, anywhere, shoulder blades, rib cage, then you want less of a roll. You'll take it wide, open it, and make your roll like so that it's not quite as high. We just want to, this goes for this moment and also all through class and really through life. Please go at your own pace for your own needs. The real yoga practice is to listen in and to respond appropriately. So take your blanket horizontally at the top third of the mat. And we're going to lie on it so that it comes right under the tops of the shoulders at this moment. And then take your elbows, take your elbows and hook them around the back of the blanket. What planet am I on? And then pull your body towards the head side of the mat so that the skin of your shoulders and back draws down towards your feet. And then you want to land like kind of bottom third of the shoulder blades here. Take your hands to the back of the head and give a little pull. Okay, so here's a diagnostic. You want to make sure that the back of your head hits the floor, your arms hit the floor, and that the neck is lengthened. If there's a crunch in your neck or you can't reach your head, you want to lower the roll of under your shoulder blades, right? So you want length through the spine and a little lift for the thoracic spine. Okay, let everything melt as best possible. Pelvis, back of the head. Let the body give over towards the floor. The heavier that you can be with the body, the more relaxed. The more you can just melt into and receive from this passive back bend. So the vertebrae of the thoracic spine by nature are less flexible than the lower vertebrae, the low back, and the upper vertebrae in the neck, because they're attached to the rib cage, they're articulated with the rib cage. So it's really nice to take this position and make some space, vertebra to vertebra. And then move yourself one more time so that the roll's a little lower. Just under the shoulder blade and right above the bottom band of the ribs. Just find a second spot. We're looking for our edge where I always say it has the feeling of hurts so good. There might be discomfort, but there's not pain. Breath is coming and going. With ease. And of course, you're really getting to open the front ribs. You're feeling the breath fill the chest a little more than the abdomen. That's fine. Okay, and then take your time to roll to your side. And then all the way over to your belly, we're going to take a Sphinx pose and let the blanket rest right at the lower ribs to prop you a little. So I'm not really doing much to stay up. The blanket is here, so find the spot that works best for you. Forearms can be extended here, elbows under the shoulders. If it's too much, just come a little forward. Widen the collarbones. Let the tops of the feet rest down on the floor. Point the toes. And from the tailbone, walking all the way up the spine, just keeping a visual image of an even arc as you lengthen through the whole spine. Okay, and then from here, lower down, press into the hands. We're going to come back to some kind of puppy or child pose. Puppy is with the bottom in the air, and child is where you reach your bottom towards your heels. See what works best for you. Just a little counter stretch to the back bend. So that you can breathe a little bit into the back ribs. Fill that lower rib band with breath as you inhale, and feel movement as you release. And then when you're ready, you can come to seated. I'm going to share a little teaching. You can feel free also to stay in child pose or to come onto your back into constructive rest, whatever you like. Okay, my friends, today is the 18th of Tammuz. Yesterday was the 17th of Tammuz, obviously. 17th of Tammuz is a minor fast day, and it commemorates the breach of the walls of Jerusalem prior to the destruction of the temple. So we call this period the 3 weeks, or in Hebrew, Bein HaMetzarim, in the narrow space. And it begins a transformational period of sort of breaking down and rebuilding, in our mindfulness language, breaking down the structures of self-identity and then rebuilding that will carry us all the way through the high holidays, this whole process of tshuva. And we'll, of course, be looking at that through these months, but just knowing that this is a period, this 3 weeks is a period of mourning, moving towards the lowest point in the Jewish calendar, Tisha B'Av. The Maggid of Koznitz, Polish late 18th, early 19th century chassid, Yisroel Hopstein, suggests that these days are not merely a time of lament over destruction, but also a symbolic journey of spiritual rectification, of tikkun. Each day, an opportunity to lift sparks from the ruins of exile and transform pain into growth. So just a framing for this time. I want to look at a moment in this week's parasha. It's Parshat Pinchas. There are 2 transformational pieces in this parsha. One, very important, is the transfer of power from Moses to Joshua. The second is where the 5 daughters of Tzlofchad come forward to ask for land inheritance, which belonged to their father, who was deceased, and would normally go to the sons or the sons-in-law, but none of them are married and there are no sons. And so they come forward and they actually step forward and speak out and change Jewish law from speaking out. The chapter begins, Vatikravna benot Tzlofchad, and the daughters of Tzlofchad came forward from the root karov, near. The names of the daughters were Machla, Noah, Chogla, Milka, and Tirza. The second verse, Vata'amodna lifnei Moshe, and they stood before Moses. And they said, our father died in the wilderness. He was not part of Korach's faction. He's left no sons. Please, can we have the land? Yud-Heh Vav-Heh says to Moshe, the plea of Tzlofchad's daughters is just. Simply the word Kain. Kain benot Tzlofchad, and they're to be given an achuzat nachala, a hereditary holding among their father's kinsmen. So these are the only collection of 5 siblings in the Torah. They're the only named biblical sisters outside of Rachel and Leah. And also we have here a lesson on non-hierarchical leadership. The Midrash points out that Torah doesn't tell us their birth order or any particular unique characteristics, and that they function as a team. There's no specific spokesperson. They speak in the plural voice. The only other effective sibling team in Torah has been Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. And this story, interestingly, is coming directly after the deaths of Miriam and Aaron and the end of that triumvirate of leadership. So God approves their request. Aviva Zornberg takes a look at these 2 verbs, vatikravna in the first verse, vata'amodna. The 2 verbs, she says, resonant in their unusual feminine plural form, vatikravna, vata'amodna, declare the significant act of the sisters. Before they even open their mouths, they come forward, and then they stand before all the dignitaries of the people. So she talks about standing up straight and not slouching in the face of what is right, even though you're afraid, right? So they do this in front of Moses, in front of Elazar, the high priest, the whole community. So I want to think in our practice today, what does it take for us to stand up tall? What does it take for us emotionally to move from the margins to the center? We're going to do some things to open up the shoulders. And as we started with, of course, to open and lift the chest and to have some softening and opening in the rib cage. We're going to work toward warrior 2 today. Warrior 1, sorry, as a pose. So First, just coming to a low lunge, stepping the right foot forward. You can place the blanket under your left knee if you would like some support for the knee. And you can use your chair or 2 blocks if you want some support. Just allowing the hips to pulse a little forward and back. Getting a stretch for the left quads, the thigh, and the left hip flexors. And then if you'd like, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, send the heel back. Find some length, a little more opening, and keep length on the spine as you do so. And as much as possible, keep the hips parallel, right? So you might be up here, you might be down here. And then bring the knee down and switch it out in any way you'd like. Switch sides. Left foot forward, right knee down, same thing. Just pulsing a little bit the hips, lengthening the tailbone. Good morning, hips. Good morning, thighs. If you sit in a chair a lot during the day, this is a wonderful break. Tuck the toes if you like, lift the knees, send the heel back. And again, you can pulse the hips a little bit up and down. And really find length from the heel to the crown. Good, and then step the right foot forward to meet the left. And take a roll up the spine. Come to stand, grab your strap, and take a little shoulder opening. Take the strap between thumb and forefinger, little pincer action here. We're going to inhale up and exhale back. And just widen as much as you need to keep the shoulders wide, to keep the shoulders down, and to have no extra movement in the torso. And then again, it's inhaling up, see no movement, none of this, back and forth, and then exhaling down. And just take it a couple times. You don't have to follow me. Take it in your own breath. It's always an inhale as you go up and an exhale as you go down. So as wide or as narrow as you need to accommodate your own shoulders. And I'm pulling the strap taut. So there's no slack. Soft, easy, steady breath. Okay. Before we put the strap down, just want to prep it for a little later. Take the strap, make a belt. Pull it to where it's basically from inseam to inseam of your shirt here. If you put it across your upper chest, it's like inner armpit to inner armpit, roughly, is the loop. And then you just want to make sure that you pull it and it stays. And then just put that aside. We're going to come to the wall if you have that access. Don't worry if you don't. This can be done in the middle of the room. And then I want to say that if you want some help for balance, why don't I model that? Then you would bring the chair in front of you so you can have a little help with balance. Take your right foot back to the wall, your heel, and your toes are down on the floor, right? So back heel is up. And heel is against the wall. Toes are down, left foot is forward. And first, just with straight legs, check yourself out here, that you have the right distance in length and also the right distance in width that feels good for you. You can widen a little more on the horizontal plane for a little more balance. Hands to the hips and drive that heel back into the wall. Legs are straight. So just finding what's it like when my pelvis is even. Lengthen the tailbone. Press back through that right heel. Find a soft gazing point. What's it like just right here? And you can check that these bony prominences on the front of the pelvis are even with each other. And square as much as possible to the front, like two headlights facing forward. And then we're going to bend the front knee and come into a lunge. Right? So if you'd like, you can use the chair for some help with balance, right? Or hands to the hips. Be here and breathe. And work with that back leg. Anywhere from super bent right knee to pressing back, straightening through the knee. See what's working for you at this point in the day and at this moment in your life. With that right hip flexor. Good. And then step on forward and you'll take the other side. I'm just going to remove the chair for your visual, but if you're working with the chair, keep working with the chair. Left heel to the wall. Toes are down. Step the right foot forward. And again, first find straight legs. Really driving that left heel back into the wall. Be here and breathe. And then bend through the right knee. Just see how this feels. Check it out in your own pelvis, the left hip, the left leg. And again, knee can be quite bent, or you can sort of work towards straightening. See what's available for you. The wall just giving us some help in having extra feelers, right? Just a little kinesthetic aid here. Gives us some information about the inner heel, the outer heel, the leg. Okie doke. Come on back to neutral, to mountain pose. Just pause. Notice how you feel. Okay. Then you're going to take your belt. Just make sure the metal's not right on your arms. I've got the belt right below my elbows at kind of the most fleshy part of the forearm, like the widest part of the forearm. Switch feet again, right heel at the wall. Left foot forward. Find the back heel. Drive it back. Inhale the arms up. And you'll notice, you'll see, do I need to widen or narrow the belt? You'll figure that out. And then exhale, bend that front knee. The knee is just tracking forward. The knee does not come past the ankle. If your knee is coming past your ankle, you're going to scoot that left foot forward some more. Finding this lunge. Right? And feel free to bring the hands down. If you prefer, back to the hips. Just modify as you need. Lower the arms, step forward, pause. And by the way, the belt works. And also if you have like a PT band round, that works too. I'm just going to model with this just so you know if that's something you like to work with. For other purposes, that's possible too. Now we switch sides. Left heel to the wall. Right foot is stepping forward. Find your balance. Find that left heel. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, bend through the front knee. Once again, seeing that that knee does not come past the ankle as you bend. Adjust accordingly. Extra send that left inner heel back. And can you lift the rib cage or feel that you're lifting the rib cage up away from the pelvis? And then lower the arms, push off the wall, step forward. Once again, pause. Vatikravna, coming forward, drawing near to what it is you need to say. Drawing near in your physical self. Vata amodna. And then really standing up straight, justly, with integrity, physically with space from vertebra to vertebra. Two powerful verbs. Okay, friends, we're gonna keep moving here by now bringing Warrior One, traditional Warrior One in. In traditional Warrior One, the back heel is down like so. And again, you're still facing forward, right? So if this doesn't work for you, you're just gonna do the lunge with the back heel to the wall. If you wanna work with the heel down, you'll put the heel down. So we're still at the wall, and the right heel is making contact with the wall. The left foot is stepping forward. Roughly heels in line with each other, but you can widen it a little bit. Give yourself, that can give us a little more room in the pelvis. So see what you need. And once again, we're belting the arms. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, bend through the knee. So if you're turning the heel down, it's a little harder to get low, right? So maybe it's just a baby bend in that knee. Again, the hip points are towards forward as much as possible, right? But it's not to the side. That's Warrior Two, right? So towards forward. Lastly, if you'd like to gaze up, you can gaze up. Let that gazing up come really from the low band of the ribs. From the lower ribs, lift every single vertebra up, lift the sternum up, so that it's not just the head falling back, it's really an arc of the spine. And then release. Come forward. Right, so it's that nice arc that we found on the floor, both passively and then on our back and then prone with the Sphinx pose, right? That's the action that's happening in the upper body in Warrior One. Okay, other side. Left heel to the wall, right foot forward, squaring the hips to the extent possible, driving that heel down to the extent possible. Be really mindful of the low back, the sacroiliac joint, right? And the low back. Belting the arms. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, bend through the right knee. Find your pose. Check your alignment points, the heel, the front knee, the pelvis, and then lifting up. And if you'd like to take the gaze up, let it come, let it bubble up from the spine. So that if I were physically in the room with you, I might take my hands to the back of your head and cradle the back of your head, give it a little pull and a little lift. Imagine that that's happening. That you could just rest the back of your head. And when you're ready, lower the arms, straighten through the legs. Come on out. Good job, everyone. Good focus. Take your chair or your 2 blocks. We're going to take a forward fold with some support. If you have the chair, you'll put that blanket roll on top of it. Feet hip width apart. Lift and spread the toes. Lift the kneecaps, engage the quads, hands to the hips. Inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, fold. Let the pelvis come up over the tops of the legs. Find that flat back, that lengthening. This is more for release of the low back than it is a hamstring stretch within today's sequence, right? So you can fold as deeply as you want, but what I'm really going for is take the thighs back, let the pubic bone move back, let the belly hollow, let the lower vertebrae lengthen. Be here and breathe. Again, continuous lift on the kneecaps. And see that the hips and knees are stacked right over the ankles. So you're not hanging back. Puts too much stress on the ankle and knee joints and the ligaments of the knee. And when you're ready, inhale and lift up. Exhale, come back to neutral. Okay, we're gonna sit. We're gonna take the blanket and from this fold, make one more fold. Rounded side facing forward. We're gonna sit up on the blanket. You might need more, something else to sit up and come out of the rounded pose. You might need a second blanket or something. You'll see. We're facing the chair if you've got the chair. And the first thing is that your hands are on the chair. You're pressing down with your hands and allowing sort of an isometric lift of the rib cage of the chest, a widening. If you have no chair, you could just take the hands down to the sides, staff pose. Good. If you need to bend the knees, go ahead and bend the knees in order to achieve a neutral pelvis here, right? So we want to find this neutral pelvis, sit bones grounding down. So maybe the knees are bent, maybe the legs are straight. And from here, can work on a little forward bend once again. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, start to fold forward. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold. Just going like that as you come forward. You can take the arms up the chair if that's something available to you. Just work with this as you fold. Be here and breathe. What kind of expanse, what kind of opening, what kind of courage does it require to stand up and speak your piece? Can really take inspiration from these 5 women. As you're ready, and feel free to stay longer if you're loving it, but when you're ready, you can inhale to come up. One more thing. We're going to bend the right knee, draw the shin in toward the chest. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, ground the sitting bones. Send the right arm in front of you. Inhale, lift up tall, lengthen the fingertips. Exhale, take the fingertips out at shoulder height to the right, starting to twist. Follow the fingers with your gaze. When you're at your limit, bring the hand down. Here you are in your twist, and then you can make adjustments. Can cradle the right knee with your left hand, or maybe it's to the outside, or maybe you're just holding the knee. See what works for you as you work into the twist. No huffing, no puffing, right? Just ease. When you're ready, slowly release back to center. Inhale here. And exhale, take a counter twist left. Legs are the same, we're just opening in the opposite direction. Come back to center. Release the right leg long. Bend the left knee, bring the sole of the foot in toward you. Hugging the shin, inhale tall. Just be here a couple breaths. Grounding. This is the period of Vatikravna, really. We approach the pose. We might visualize where we're going. We prepare the body internally for where we're going. And then we go. Taking the left hand forward at shoulder height, palm facing down. Inhale here, and exhale, begin to take the left fingertips to the left at shoulder height. Follow with your gaze. And then place the hand behind you. Adjust with the right arm. Finding your twist. Just notice how it is from side to side. As you're ready, release. And take a counter twist to the right. And then we're going to lower down to the floor. If you've got your chair, just move it to the end of your mat. We'll unfold the blanket, or just see how you need it for the back of your neck. And we'll take the lower legs to the chair. And if you don't have a chair, it's some kind of shavasana, resting, stillness on your back. palms facing up. If it's more comfortable for you, bend the elbows, place the palms on the rib cage, and just feel the breath coming and going. Soft, compassionate, undefended. Couple minutes of silence here to absorb the work. Let everything go, including your attention. Begin to deepen the breath. As you come back to the surface. Wiggle your fingers and toes, starting to wake up. Take all the time you need to come up to a comfortable seat. We can take guidance from the 5 sisters, the 5 daughters of Tzlofchad. We can take inspiration and courage for our own lives of coming closer, standing up, coming forward. Both within ourselves and also without. As we close, we take a moment to send out the benefits of our practice and not hold them for ourselves, but to really release them as prayers, as wishes. First for refuah, for healing. For anyone, including yourself, family members, neighbors, community members who need healing. I invite you to bring them to mind. You can say their names into your space or silently just wish them healing. And opening the circle to other communities and corners of the world. And as we've been doing every Monday, as it's written in our morning liturgy for Mondays and Thursdays, sending prayers for the hostages, the chatufim. I invite you to sing with me or just listen. We'll put the words of Achenu, Kol Beit Yisrael up on the screen. keeping the 50 hostages in mind. Achenu kol beit Yisrael, Achyoteinu kol beit Yisrael, Hanetunim betzara, betzara uvashivya, Haumdim ben bayam, uven bayabasha. Hamakom yerachem, yerachem aleim, veyotziem mitzara, lirvacha, umafel leora, umishibu deligeula, hashta bagala, uvizman kariv. Hashta ba'agala uvizman kariv. May they be coming home soon. And I encourage you to send out your blessings further. Keep sending. It sometimes feels like our blessings are doing no good, but in fact they are. I believe in the butterfly effect that any small motion we make over here changes the fabric of the universe, is reflected. Taking a final breath or two to close your practice. And as you're ready, open your eyes, come back to your room. Thank you all for practicing today.